What's up, guys? It's the Carp here, back again with another video. If you missed the last episode, go check it out. We started this Monaco career mode, and mostly I just kind of went through the club, went through my staff, all my tactics and all that kind of stuff. And today we are going to be doing some transfers. So if you missed the last episode, we went over what positions I needed, and I need a center mid and a substitute winger. Those are the main ones. We do have plenty of players left over. We got a really big squad, a lot of players in the reserve team as well, and a fair few players with decent potential. So in the next season or two, really, I'm expecting to go very far in the Champions League. I'm expecting to win the league realistically within my first 2 or 3 seasons. The league in this game is fairly easy to win, or I'm just good. I don't know, one of the two. I've won like 95% of the leagues that I've ever competed for. It's usually just like the first 1 or 2 seasons that are a little bit shaky. But even then, I would still expect to finish second. Our finances are okay, as you can see there. We do have $54 million to spend, and we got a decent maximum wage as well. So let's get into some transfers. I've got some players on my short list already, and I'm really looking for. I need a really good center mid, basically. There's a lot of things that I would like, but we don't have a huge reputation right now. As you can usually tell sort of what kind of pulling power you have as a club if you just reset everything and hit this interested only. Those are the players that are specifically interested in joining your club. And as you can see, the most high-profile player that is interested is Nabil Fekir. We're not going to go for him because he is an attacking mid. He could probably learn to play center mid because you can retrain positions in this, but I'm not going to buy him banking on that because I really need a starting center mid. We're super late in that position, so I'm going to probably buy 2 players if I can. But let's go ahead and take a look at the short list. So I've got a few options for a backup winger and a lot of center mids. So he shouldn't really still be in there. I swear I cleared my short list. Whatever, I'll just ignore him. So let's see. Oh, I didn't realize you could do this in your substitutes. Alright, so let's just look at our center mids in our short list for now, because that's the main position. I do have some somewhat high-profile players that I want to bring in just as mostly substitute with a little bit lower stamina, but ideally I want to be spending most of this money on the center mid. So Yaya Toure is a free agent right now. I'm scouting him. He's got decent stats, minus that 10 stamina and 9 pace. 8 tackling isn't great either, but he does have the shooting, so I'm fine with that. He's got decent dribbling stats as well, but he's 35 years old, and a lot of times when you sign players in this game, they will immediately lose like up to 1 or 2 stats like across the board, so I'm not really going to risk him unless I have to. I wouldn't mind having him as a backup, but he is going to want a big wage. I actually already just offered him a wage just to see what he was sort of looking for. If I could get him around for like 100K a week, I wouldn't mind it, but we'll see. Renato Sanchez is a great option if we can get him, and they're willing to talk. So let's just start off real low. They want $76 million. Alright, I don't really like offering 50% sell-on percentage for players that I might actually end up selling, and since Sanchez is young, I might end up selling him, but let's go ahead and see if they accept that. No, so we can't afford him. Go ahead and take him off the short list. My second choice is going to be this guy, Jetson Fernandez, and I imagine he's probably going to be out of our price range as well. Okay, so we might be able to get him in. We don't really have anybody to trade, realistically. I mean, Fabregas is old, but I still don't want to get rid of him. Let's go ahead and go 30% and 34.5, whatever. Drop it down to 45 and 50%, and okay. So again, I don't really want to add that 50% sell-on clause, but hopefully if he joins the club, he never leaves. He does have like some red and orange, as you can see, in other positions on the right there. So there's a chance that he could learn any of those positions, and even like a couple of the ones that aren't highlighted. Players can learn any position, but they're kind of more likely to learn like their better positions quickly. So those ones that are yellow, we could have this guy's cover for right wing, right back. He's got 18 stamina, and he's 19 years old as well, so he's a really promising player. I don't actually mind spending most of my budget on him, but let's see what he wants for a contract. He's on 11K now, but he might just ask for like 150K, and then we're spending a massive wage, you know, and spending a massive transfer fee as well. Let's go and look at a couple other players. Wendell, I know, ends up being pretty decent. Again, I'd rather not up that sell-on fee, that sell-on percentage, but I just can't offer a lot transfer fee-wise. So I'm going to have to probably early on here. And hopefully we'll be like financially stable enough later on for it not really to affect anything. Alright, so we could go for Wendell as well. Only $35 million for him. It's a slightly better fee. Kondogbia, okay. I don't really. He's got lower shooting. I'm kind of looking for more of an attacking midfielder, but obviously they do need to play center mid. So Allen's a little bit lower on my list as well, but if I can get him for cheaper because he's a little bit older, no, okay. Let's go ahead and delist him. And if you guys have any suggestions for transfers at any point, just send them in the comments. Obviously, there weren't any comments in the last video, so I'm just kind of, you know, bringing in whoever I want. But if there's a specific player that you want me to bring in, if he's good now, or if he's, you know, if he's really good later on in the future for you guys, just let me know. Brozovic is a player that I don't think we're going to be able to afford, but he would be great as well. Yeah, I'm not really looking to compete with Liverpool for him. Most of these players are going to be, yeah, well beyond our price range realistically. Let's go for this guy, a little younger. I've never bought him before. A lot of these players I have bought, I've played this game way too much, but Longstaff's somebody that I've never bought before, so I have no idea how he could end up. And we can loan players as well. I'm probably going to loan in a center mid, but I would like to buy them if possible. Okay, so they're probably going to want way too much for him, potentially. They are green, though, and they're like mood, so they might accept a pretty low fee. So 30 million. I don't know. We'll see. I might go for him. We'll see how much he wants for a contract. That's about as high as I'm going. Yep. All right. So we got a couple players there. We didn't go for Campbell yet, did we? I might be able to bring him in for 28 and 30%. I'd rather have him for 30 than that English guy. So okay, we got a couple options there, and then these other positions should be a little easier to deal with. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear out the rest of the players that we went for. Leave them in there. Now let's just reset this. All right, and now we need a winger. Now, Ontiveros is somebody that I've got in my Porto save currently, and he is amazing. He's got, like, I think 16 passing, 16 shooting, and then, like, 18 crossing, 18 dribbling, something like 17 stamina. So if he has that same kind of growth in this save, that would be nice. I wouldn't really be looking to bring him as a substitute, but let's just see how much I can get him for. He's got a release clause of 16 million. Highest fee... Okay, so they want 12.25 for. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. Other people are bidding. Fantastic. Let's just go for 16 million. Let's just activate that clause. So we'll see what happens. I can't really buy him unless I get somebody like Vendel or somebody, you know, that was on that lower range. I think the only one that was really super expensive was Jetson Fernandez. So that's a tough decision that I might have to make. But in the meantime, let's go for a couple of these real cheap guys. And I do think that it's worth it to spend up to, not that much, like probably like 5-6 million for players that are going to be just used as substitutes, just because fitness is a real issue in this game. I forgot, Lo Celso he's counted as a center attack mid when you search, so that's why he didn't show up earlier. I don't know why I can't bid for him. The only thing I think of is that he's already on loan when I started the save. The loans, they're a little weird. The ones that are already in place. Robin and Ribery would be decent additions, but they're going to have a huge wage, so really I'm only interested if I can get them for super cheap. Okay, so we're not going to be able to get either of them. I'm probably just going to go for this Brazilian guy, Everton. I should be able to get him fairly cheap from that league, unless Chelsea goes in for him. I'm just going to offer a 20% straight up. Okay, so there's a couple people going in for him. That's going to be too much. He could grow a little bit, but I'm not really banking on it. I might go for He's a first team in their squad, so he might be a little more expensive. Yeah, but there's a chance. On a lot of these players, if they're kind of like middle ground players, there's a chance you can get them for super cheap. So we don't really have, well, we don't have a lot of options for the winger position, except for Ontiveros. I'll go ahead and offer him a contract and just see what happens. I might look at selling on some players to maybe be able to bring in Ontiveros and Jedson Fernandez. We don't really have a lot of players we can sell, though. At least not a lot of players that I want to sell. Jovetic, maybe? Nah. I think I'm probably just going to have to bring in loan players, I imagine. Because I really don't want to get rid of any of these guys if I can help it. So we'll see what Jedson Fernandez wants for a contract. If it's super high, I'm not going to go for it. At that, I got to bring him in. Even if he's that much money, I got to bring him in. He might be our only big signing this summer, but I think he's going to be worth it. Great player to build the club around. I'm just going to offer all these guys a standard contract. I'm fine with giving him rotation, and he's not interested. That's fine. I accidentally scouted all these. I'm not going to scroll down, but it's players out of contract. Yeah, Torre is one of them. Berbatov could be worth bringing in, actually. Ooh, no stamina. It's going to be the problem with a lot of these players, I think. Gago, we do need center mid coverage. I'll bring him in just because we are so light. I'm not going to give him first team, though. I'm certainly not going to give him that much. It's one or the other. If he accepts rotation, yeah, I'm fine with that. Just a nice one-year contract. Hopefully his stats don't diminish too much upon signing for the club. But it's kind of low risk. Just a wage. I don't really mind it. Let's see. Alright, so he's still got 11 stamina, 16 passing. He's got no shooting, no crossing, no aerial, but that's fine. He's got a little bit of dribbling left in him. So that's good enough for me. If we really have to play him, maybe even as a substitute, that's fine. That's a decent signing there. There's that. I mentioned we have a big squad. There's so many players. There's so many players. But, I can't bring any of these loan players back, and it's so annoying. But I'm going to have to do a couple of them, just in case. Let's go from the lower level ones. Just so our squad size isn't too bad. See, and even someone like this, I'd probably just bring him back just to sell him on, just I don't think he's going to progress. But as I mentioned earlier, loans are a little bit weird. When you first start the save, you can't actually recall any of these players. Tielemans would be perfect. That's the one I'm most annoyed about. I would love to have Tielemans back in the squad just right now. But Jedson Fernandez for 45 million there. Boom. First big signing. All the big signings, it brings up this special screen. So his stats hardly went down at all. He still got that 18 stamina, which is going to be huge. And then 14 dribbling, 14 passing. That's the main things that I look for in a center mid are that dribbling, passing, and then I like them to have either high shooting or tackling. Jedson Fernandez in particular has high tackling as well. We'll probably still play him as an advanced playmaker, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so I don't think that I have 46 million. Do I? Where did I just get all that money from? I have no idea where I just got all that money from. You guys saw earlier I checked our finances, and then we just signed Jedson Fernandez. I don't know. Whatever, I'm going to take it. I guess it came from somewhere. So in that case, I'm definitely going to bring in Ontiveros because I think he's going to be good, and he can act as a substitute in the meantime until his stats go up a little bit. He can play on both sides, which is huge, and then retrain position. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to play as an attacking mid as well. Diarra, another free agent. He's a defensive mid, though. I'm not really too interested. His stats are a little low. Alright, so we got Ontiveros. How much do we have left now? Still got 49 million. So I'm going to go ahead and buy Longstaff, I think. Potentially. Yeah, I'm going to bring in Longstaff. So that's going to be our second somewhat big signing. He's got really well-rounded stats. I'm just kind of hoping that he's going to be good. But let's take a risk. The big, I mentioned that, screen didn't pop up. So he's not, a huge name player. But he's still worth 20 million as signing. I don't think he lost too many stats, really. He's supposed to go up by a half star, but realistically, he's going to be better than Fabregas, probably right now, and definitely by the end of the season. Fabregas is alright, but he's got, 8 pace, 7 tackling. He does have that 12 shooting, but doesn't really have any outstanding stats. He's kind of just bang average, really. I mean, he's 31 years old. He seems older. I swear Fabregas was like 33. That's what I think of him. I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, though. We got our main signings done. And I think I'm going to go ahead and approach a few players on loan. It's kind of annoying looking for loan players. They're actually like quality players in this game. But I'm going to go ahead and have a look through. Let's just look real quick, give you guys a little tease. Who is up for loan right now? Okay, so there's some decent players. Zaniolo in particular, he usually gets really good in those things. So I might try to loan him in. And there's a lot of other players there that could actually be really good for us, Delo being one of them. So I'm going to go through and see if I can bring in some loan players. Not necessarily to start most of the season, but just having some backup will be nice. But I'm going to do that off camera, and I will see you guys in the next episode. I'm probably going to progress up to that PSG game in the Trophy de Champions, and then we'll play a couple league-owned fixtures as well. So you guys will get your first bit of actual gameplay in the next episode. So look forward to that. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys next time.